In the midst of making this video, I had a thought. Is Vegapunk the most powerful man in the world? Drop your comments below because I will be talking about just the most powerful people in the series, and Vegapunk, I believe, definitely is one of them. Well, today we're talking about science and technology and that stuff, but mostly science. Now, for as long as I've been in school and I've gone through so many different studies, I didn't know what science meant. Do you guys know what science means? It's the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. Nani? It sounds made up, but that's what it is. And today we're going to talk about how OP science is in OP. Yes, this is not my first interest in science. I've been talking about for so long how technology is the underrated superpower in the series. And so since we've been on Egghead, it's become more and more apparent that science is OP. We've seen the power of science since Vegapunk was first teased. You know, like that one friend your mom had next door? And so now that we're on Vegapunk's island, we're getting a deeper look at just how crazy some of the experiments and inventions really are. It's always interesting seeing characters who are science-based in a world filled with strength of willpower and magical fruits, right? Like on some Disney shit. I mean, some characters have all three. Shout out to Kuma. Not so much willpower anymore. But anyways, I wanted to make a video about how and I guess why science in One Piece is broken and some of the most interesting inventions we've seen in this story. The holidays are just a few months away, and now more than ever would be a great time to start saving and preparing so you can get that person in your life something special. And why not start building with today's sponsor, Dave? Dave is a banking app that allows you to get and spend up to $500 and build credit just by paying the money back on time. No interest, no credit check. Dave is the best way to help alleviate the anxiety of needing more cash before payday. You can finally tackle those expenses that have been stressing you out without any hangups. That's more money to fill your tank, buy a gift for a loved one, or catch up on bills. Millions of people have already downloaded the Dave app to get the financial relief they need with extra cash. So if you're in a pinch and need some extra help, download Dave and think of it as a helping hand from future you. And look, for me personally, I remember being in a pinch many times around this season, and I wish I had Dave there to back me up. So all you need to get Dave going is a mobile device with access to the internet on either Apple iOS 10.3 or higher or Android 4.1 or higher. And you must have a valid email address and sufficient storage space on your mobile device. So start banking better and sign up with Dave today. Download Dave today at dave.com/BDA. That's dave.com/BDA. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve, member FDIC. Now, don't judge me, but something I've been thinking about. Do you think we can feed a devil fruit a dill? All right, Smiles. Why they didn't seem like much at the time? Because the invention of Smiles was really kind of insane. Kaido was able to make an army filled with Zoans, and while most of them were essentially fodder for the crew, the fact that one man had all that power, like Kanye, I mean, one man had an army of artificial devil fruits, it's crazy. Now, granted, you have Blackbeard running around gathering the most insane fruits in the verse. Warp, strong, sick, and who knows what else he has. But even in the midst of that, we have someone that's capable of creating artificial devil fruits. And the fact that it's only intensified when we look at Momonosuke, who was given a functional replica of Kaido's mythical devil fruit. And I would argue that's one of the strongest devil fruits we've seen, and a perfect copy was made in a lab. It's pink, but a perfect copy was made in a lab. And we all remember how devastating devil fruits can be to people who aren't proficient with hockey. So just think about if the Marines were able to fill their ranks with artificial devil fruits. I'm talking about the Vegapunk kind, not what Caesar's going on. Caesar's not a hack. Okay, that's not what he is, but Vegapunk, another level. Next thing, let's talk about the Seraphim and the Pacifista, the great equalizer. Something I want to bring up, right? Buster calls. Do you guys remember what a Buster call is? Buster call is when things go awry, and after the signal is received, they send 5 vice admirals and a fleet of 10 ships nearest to the location. That sounded scarier in the past. But now with the world government and having Pacifista, if you send just 10 Pacifista to apprehend regular pirates, it is done. Now that's the Pacifista. Granted, for where they are in the story now, they're just a nuisance. But now we're seeing the Seraphim, and we know the SSG was meant to replace the warlords. So I think the Seraphim are a significant level up from the Pacifista. They sent 2 Seraphim to apprehend Boa Hancock, or at least to help. That should speak volumes. And the Seraphim was able to go toe-to-toe with Blackbeard. And going toe-to-toe with someone that large, that's monumental. So next, let's talk about Witheria. or Weatheria, however the hell you want to say it, Weatheria. This is an amazing example of the utility that science offers in the One Piece verse. An artificial sky island is huge considering the majority of people don't even believe in sky islands, but to create a fully functioning flying city is a feat all on its own, and I don't think we give that enough credit. That and the fact that these guys are able to go around and alter the weather of islands to make them more beneficial is pretty huge, which now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that's what was above Lelouch. But to be serious, I wonder if they have any connection to Egghead or if Vegapunk was inspired by them and their ability to control the weather. Vegapunk seems to have grasped the concept of pretty much everything in the One Piece verse, so for him understanding the concepts of everything going on in Weatheria, that's not that shocking. He's from a place where they made automata. He's probably already made his own automata. Controlling the weather, or I guess the temperature and environment, is one of the first things we found out about Vegapunk because of what he's trying to do on Karakuri Island, right? So not only controlling the weather, having a flying city, and changing the climate of an entire island, he's done that. We've seen other islands' climate change, but that was due to devil fruits, and I don't think anybody wants to live on Punk Hazard. Next, let's talk about the utility devices. So I don't know about you guys, but I cannot wait for the day I can wear one super comfortable outfit regardless of weather and still be drippy. I mean, some people would say that's a tank top. I mean, some people say you could wear a tank top, but I mean, not in the winter. But think about Egghead. You can basically walk up to a vending machine and get anything you can think of to eat and get immaculate drip as well. Okay, I'm trying to move to Egghead Island, not gonna lie, but I honestly think these devices are huge and largely world changing. The vending machines have the power to essentially end world hunger. Maybe it's a bit of a stretch or a reach, but I think mass production of these things would significantly change the game, and I'm here for it, especially if they're cheap. But I understand why the world government would want to curb something like that. They want power, they want control, and if people have to come to you to eat, you're gonna maintain control. I just know Luffy's about to have a feast all to himself at the end of Egghead, right? But on to the other point, it seems like the clothes Luffy's group received are weather adaptable. Maybe we're reading too much into it, but they seem like futuristic clothes, not just because they look really cool, but they're light and weather adaptable, which is a nice workaround for certain climates. But it does beg the question, how does this affect LeBron's legacy?
What?
Okay. How much does that affect the climate-based devil fruit users? While we're on the subject of Atlas's inventions and how it affects devil fruit users, I want to take this time out to give an honorable mention to the photon gloves and their ability to touch light. I know a lot of people look at this as a substitute for hockey against Kizaru, but I think it might go a step further and actually affect most Logias, at least light-based ones like lightning and fire, for example. But this is just speculation, and Vegapunk understanding devil fruits and lineage factors, he could literally create the weakness for every single devil fruit, especially elemental ones. So he created photon gloves and he's touching light. It's not that crazy to create something for ice. I mean, no, for crocodile, you don't really need those gloves. Okay, I don't mean to take a shot there. Akainu might be a bit tricky. Maybe you create paperwork gloves. All right, that's enough. Lineage factor. Thanks to Judge, we saw just how devastating Germa can be as an army. Big Mom herself thought they were enough of a threat to be dealt with, and Sanji was able to turn the tables on Queen thanks to the strength of the lineage factor. Listen, cyborg bodies and man-made evolution to make your body more durable or physically stronger is pretty monumental. I mean, there's a canon comic book series about Germa. They're basically superheroes in the One Piece verse. They're bulletproof, save the candy bullets. Reiju is able to absorb poison. Yanji has a winch arm. Niji can infuse his sword with electricity and move at lightning speeds. And Ichichi can shoot out laser beams from his groin. That and the fact that Lunarians are considered to be extinct, and Sanji has, or speculatively has, Lunarian genes. I'm no scientist, but I think being able to take the strengths and traits from other races is broken. Like imagine Shanks, right? And he needs an arm. What if Shanks gets some lizard lineage factor? Now he has 2 arms again. World's greatest swordsman. I kid slightly. Now, last but not least, we cannot have a science video and not bring up the GOAT and the future king of science, Frankie. Just Frankie. Sure, Frankie has taken a lot of inspiration from Vegapunk, but I think Frankie has the innovation and practical experience to not only improve the groundwork of science Vegapunk has brought to the world, but eventually surpass Vegapunk altogether. I know, I've said it a lot in this video. I could be reaching, but I don't think I am. Now, Frankie probably adapted General Frankie from the blueprints of Vegapunk's mech, but all I'm gonna say about that is we saw General Frankie first. The soldier dock system was ahead of its time, right? Giving the Straw Hats an array of fully functioning vehicles for all types of terrain and situations, from a tank to a motorcycle to a submarine. Frankie really thought of everything. We also gotta talk about Coup de Baie, which makes the Sunny probably the most advanced ship on the sea. Now, the Polar Tang is up there because because who knows how many tricks that thing has, but being able to escape or close in onto targets is huge, and I will never get tired of it. And last but not least, Frankie's radical beam. No, but seriously, everything Frankie has done has been absolutely super. But now guys, give me your thoughts. There are much more things we can get into in regards to science and technology. One day we're gonna go through the alphabet and just talk about every single piece of technology from A to Z. Just quickly, the art of weather, battle Frankies, cloning, Den Mushis, eternal poses. We'll talk about it. Just let me know your thoughts on that. But yeah, what is your favorite science or technological item? Because my personal favorite would be cloning. Because imagine if you could just have 2 Rihannas, or just 2 Beyoncés, or 2 Hayden Panettieres. All right, and guys, you should like the video and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at BrogODAce. Follow me on Instagram at BrogOD.ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you to my members. I appreciate you guys as well so much. And guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
I start doubting me, I felt lost. I rewrite it.